Namaste, dear listeners, and welcome to the iWatch channel Astro In with Abhi, Oneness in Astrology and Spirituality, bringing in awareness by Abhi. If you haven't as yet, please subscribe to my channel. Click on the like and share button so that many people can benefit from my podcast, from my deep insights. Now, this podcast is in relation to the one I previously made about the Christos oil and heaven being within you, a state of consciousness. There's a question given to me based on that podcast I've done, and that question is, "Hi Abhi, please can you explain how is Kundalini in relation to the Christos oil?" Now, we must understand that the Christos oil is basically a secretion that is happening once a month on the 28th day of every month when the sun passes the moon in your chart, right? When the sun passes that part of your chart where the moon is for that month, it releases the pineal gland, and the pituitary gland releases two different fluids. So if you look at it, the pituitary gland secretes a milky-like substance called oxytocin, and your pineal gland secretes a honey-like substance called melatonin. Now, I'm sure many of you know what's melatonin and oxytocin. So this is the positive electrical charge and obviously the magnetic negative charge. So it's basically two charges. One is positive, one is negative. It's released down into your solar plexus. So here, look, if there's no wastage, right? If one doesn't waste this oil or waste the power of this through through sexual wastage or sexual energy, or through improper eating habits, or through not spending much time grounding him or herself, walking barefoot, observing the sunlight, then obviously you're going to dry up this oil. It'll dry up before it even reaches your root, where it sits there for at least 3 days. Right? This is the 3 days, or the resting of the Christ, 3 days. And if such oil is not wasted, it rises back up after 3 days. So this is a resurrection. So everything in the Bible is all metaphoric. It's coded. But I think if you are a person who has not spent his or her life going deep and trying to seek the truth within, you'll find it very difficult to obviously comprehend whatever I'm saying. But yeah, the 7 candles are your chakras. And in the Bible, they speak about the 7 candles. This is your chakra. So your golden oil, your Christos, passes through down to your root in the spine, where it rests for 3 days. On the 3rd day, if it hasn't been wasted, it rises back up. So this is the awakening of the Kundalini. So the rising of the Christos oil back from the root, back up into the spine, that Christos oil, it's awakening that part of you, that feminine and masculine in you, to rise back up. This is the divine marriage of the feminine and masculine. This is the rising of the Kundalini. The Christ resurrection back up the spine into the pineal gland. Stimulating this gland makes you awaken. It stimulates the pineal gland. This is where you get awakened. So Kundalini is it's a dormant energy. It's in a restful space at the root of your spine. I've done a separate podcast on this here on what Kundalini energy is, and here I'm just trying to show you the bringing both the Christos oil in relation to the Kundalini. Yes, the oil itself is needed and must not be wasted for you to even experience an awakening. So unless one promotes stimulation through vegan foods, abstinence from wastage of sexual energy, and meditation, one can actually awaken this energy. So you gotta pick up your own cross. Now this means you need to pick up your own Kundalini, your own Christ oil, right? So once again, the kingdom of God is within you. The temple of God is within you. You need to rise that up to the state of heaven consciousness. And the way to do that is by rising up the Christos oil or awakening the Kundalini. It's the same thing. It's the very, very same thing. The Kundalini, the Pingala on the right, the Inda on the left. This is the positive and negative. This is the masculine and feminine. Both, this is the oxytocin and the melatonin. It's the same thing, positive and negative. Once that oil is saved and not wasted, then both, this is the union between, this is the Shiv Shakti, this is a union, the divine marriage, which then rises back up together and stimulating the pineal gland, making you more aware. It's very simple to understand, and it's much more simpler when you meditate. You will actually begin to see the glowing sticks or the chakras within you. You'll be able to see the speed at which it spins or the brightness of it, right? And I've done a separate, there's another question regarding auras and all of that. I've done a separate podcast on that. Don't get too much involved in all of that. If you are just beginning, trying to wrap your head around these concepts. This is not mythology, by the way. This has been there thousands and thousands of years ago. They have spoken about it. It's still there now, and it will always be there. Right. So thank you very, very much, dear listeners. I hope this answers your question. This is the best way I can explain the Kundalini in relation to your Christos oil. It's the same thing. In order for your Kundalini to be awakened, one needs to save the Christos oil. In order for the resurrection to happen, one needs to save the Christos oil. The resurrection is the Kundalini awakening. It's the same thing. It's not about some person that has been lying there and has risen out of the body. It's not. It has to be. It's a metaphoric. All right. So thank you very much, dear listeners. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Like and share this podcast. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Ram, Om Namah Shivaya, Hari Bol, and goodbye.